welcome to Winfield's week of Rugby League. In fact, the first weekend of the 1987 semi-final action. For one team, of course, it's the end of their playing commitments for 1987. For the three others, they stay alive in that race for the elusive Winfield Cup. But first off, let's go to all the action of the Saturday semi-final between Balmain and South Sydney, remembering that it is sudden death, the loser dropping out altogether in 1987. And as both teams took the field, they've been struggling to find their best form in the last fortnight of the Winfield Premiership proper, and Sydney rugby league experts were struggling to find for themselves a favourite for the match.
The State Bank Big Game presents the Winfield Cup.
Hello and welcome to the Sydney Cricket Ground for today's sudden death minor preliminary semi-final in the Winfield Cup between 4th place Balmain and 5th place South Sydney. The Balmain team today, led on by Captain Wayne Pearce, is Jack, Gartner, Conlon, Schofield, Davidson, Gale, Neil, Pearce, Brooks, Maguire in 22, Roach, Elias and Hemsley. South's captain Mario Finnick leads on the Rabbitohs, and their full team rundown is Cruikshank, Moon, Phil Blake, Michael Blake, Marvin, Neville in 14, Coleman, Ellison at lock forward, Roberts and Davidson in the second row, Boyle, Fennick and Johnson. The referee today is Greg McCullum. They're ready to kick off in this minor preliminary semi-final, and sudden death is the name of the game. They lose and they're gone. Elias is elected to kick out to the right. The ball's been taken by Gartner, magnificently caught. He's got the ball in the South Sydney quarter. Now let's see whether Balmain can attack right from the outset. Brooks takes it up very strongly, only about 18 metres out from the line. Elias at dummy half. Dummy Roach gets it to Hemsley, wide of the ruck, stands in a tackle, gets the pass away to Elias, back to Brooks. Brooks out to Pearce, Pearce going straight and hard. He's got to within 10 metres and they upend him very close to the sideline. Elias again, the ball was struck for there, obviously wasn't touched. Pearce, the little fellow, Michael Neal, put a grubber kick through, which was rounded up by South Sydney. So a frenetic opening to this match. Both sides know exactly what's in store. They lose today, that's the end of the section. All the hard work, all the pain and anguish and hard work of training down the tube. Mario Fennick coming away with some tough stuff from dummy half. Mr. McCullum is the referee, and he's going to have his hands full this afternoon. There goes the kick downfield. Ellison got it away. Jack's racing for it, and it's a kick back over the sideline, over beyond halfway. A great start. And already Russell Gartner, even though he's been out for a month with a depressed fracture of the cheekbone, has shown that he's lost none of his skills gathering that kick-off. Neil elects to go the blind side. Good tackle by Coleman, brings him down. Gartner found a little space there in the ruck. Coleman appeared to throw a punch at him. Maguire, strong, very compact player. Steve Roach, driven sideways in the tackle. Lindsay Johnson takes him head on, and there's a tackle for failure, a penalty for failure to get away from the tackle player, holding the leg according to the referee. See it again.
So the referees will be strict on this right throughout the semi-finals. Interesting to note that Steve Roach hit that ball up a little bit wide of the ruck, so they're trying to test out the defences of Darryl Neville.
And he gets it, so that's a giant confidence boost for Conlon and Balmain. So the score at the moment is Balmain 2, South Sydney 0. The quick kick-off taken by Ellison. The ball's gone back there. Hemsley dives on it, falls back. The ball was lost, but lost backwards. There appeared to be a little knock on there by by Maguire at dummy half. Just a little one, but it's going to give South Sydney possession in their own quarter, or the Balmain quarter. Now Cruikshank's come racing up to get into the lock position. I just noticed that from the fullback role. Cruikshank came hastening up. After Roberts, about 20 metres out from the line now. On to Boyle, he goes up the blind side. Tackled about 15 metres out. Coleman. Darryl Neville doing a little bit of stepping there. He's in number 14. Davidson can't release his hands. Stood momentarily in the tackle. It's the last tackle now. Pennick. Ellison gets a kick upfield. Neil has got him again. Picked him up. Oh, the ball's hit a Balmain player on the head. Play on, 6 to go. I'll swear that hit a Balmain player right on top of the head. Coleman. Neville. Tackled about 10 metres out from the line. It's all South Sydney at the moment. Boyle. Johnson surges forward. He's 8 metres out from the goal line. Coleman to Neil, to Ellison, back inside to Davidson. Pennick could well have a go from here. He's very hard little man. No, he's not going to. There's a kick that's been put in. The ball's hanging loose there. Hemsley might have fallen on it. It's now in the end goal, and it's knock on all ways. Well, frenetic stuff here. The pace and tempo of the play is very, very fast. Now, it's going to be a scrum feed to Coleman, so we must assume that Balmain knocked that on and attempting to pick it up. Pivots round to the blind side. Cruikshank, the fullback, trying to back towards the opponent's line. He's tackled. Jason Moon runs some dummy half. He's run well, beaten a tackle, and finishes up 2 metres out from the line. Mario Pennick sights the line, burrows. They're about 1.5 metres out. Coleman onto Lindsay Johnson. Johnson surging hard for the line. He's only about a foot away. Pennick, Coleman, the little kick through. It's a race for the line, and it's going to be a try. It's going to be a try to, I think it's one of the Blakes.
Phil Blake's the man that's picked up this kick from Craig Coleman. A great little chip from Coleman. Nobody back Benny Elias tried to read the play here, but Phil Blake, they've been lacking pace, South Sydney, in recent weeks. They've been lacking a little bit of drive, but this is the man that can turn it for them. Blake, look at the pace, just rushes by that Balmain defence and snaps up a great kick by Coleman. He attempted it only a few moments ago. The kick was charged down by Gary Jack, and the result, a scrum, more possession and pressure, and up comes the try for South Sydney.
George Piggins, the coach there, looking very intent. I suggest he's getting some instructions out to his team. I must ask you, David, did you see Cruikshank hurtle up from fullback and get himself into the scrum on that about 3 or 4 minutes ago?
Yes, I did, and Craig Coleman was quite cranky that he hadn't read the play at the time, because Davidson was hovering out in the centres. It was obviously a ploy by George Piggins, and Cruikshank hadn't read it at that stage.
Well, the rules are fairly precise about the number of players that can be in the pack and in the backs. That's why George would have been concerned about it. The kick from Ellison is unsuccessful, so the score is South Sydney 4, Balmain 2. Back towards the halfway line, Coleman to get it back into play for the restart. Kicked a little bit of sand there, but it's still a giant kick. Very close to going over the dead ball line. Cruikshank. He's evaded 1 tackle, evaded 2. Gets it out to Jason Moon. Moon's got open space in front of him, but Gartner comes across and picks him up. He's got beyond the quarter. There's a kick through, 6 to go. On to Cruikshank. Boyle now takes over, and Pearce rides him into the ground. About 7 or 8 metres outside the quarter. Pennick, Ellison, Johnson. Hammered into the ground. Midfield. 5 metres out from the quarter. Roberts trying to get a one-handed pass away. The ball's gone astray. So that will be a scrum, and I believe it's going to be a Balmain feed. Yes, let's have a look at these lower grade results. Cronulla 18. Well and surely put the cleaners through Penrith 2, and they proceed into the major semi-final next week. Eastern Suburbs 14. Canterbury Bankstown 2, and they proceed. Well, South Sydney have been judged to have been offside, and another from the set scrum. It will be a differential penalty, and and Gale will attempt to kick the ball over the sideline. He's done that, and it's not a bad kick either. About 9.5 metres out from the goal line. To Elias, up to Pearce. Pearce on the surge on the blind side. Had Jack outside him, but couldn't release the ball. Some of the South's backs are offside. At the moment, Neil. Maguire putting his head down and charging. Elias, Steve Roach. Didn't really look as though he was prepared to get that football then. Elias from dummy half. And Roach in a very unaccustomed position for him. A dummy half. Scott Gale. Last tackle coming up. And that'll be a penalty. It'll be a penalty for reaching through the ruck and handling the ball in a ruck area.
Quite correct in his ruling, but McCallum could also have pegged off the South Sydney inside backs on any one of, say, 4 tackles there, well and truly inside the 5.
And Wayne Pearce has really done a job on this nose of his. I think he damaged it badly last week in a tackle that he came in contact with Gately. The Manly prop forward, accidental. And now again today. Conlon kicks it. So the score now, Balmain 4, South Sydney 4. The scrum went down. Cruikshank's chiming in to make the extra man. He's a strong young fellow and pretty quick. Coleman at dummy half onto Boyle. Brooks stands his ground and they drive him back. The ball's been lost behind. Scooped up by Coleman. A cut-out pass there has gone out to Marvin. Marvin's going well. He's pushed Pearce out of the way. Davidson comes at him, and now Jack, and they've given him a little bit of hammer. He's getting up, swinging his arms and pushing away, but now the ball comes out on the open side. Out to Davidson. Davidson trying to inject himself into the back line. Neville. Mario Fennick. Pass gone free, back to Neville. Neville on the accelerate, gets to the quarter line. Coleman. Johnson. Last tackle coming up now. Ellison, quick hands to Coleman. Ball's gone high. Jack stands his ground, can't handle it. It's taken by Roach. It's not taken by Roach. It's on the ground, and it's going to be a penalty. I believe there's something erupted on the ground now. And all the players come surging in. I believe Gary Jack touched it. The ball went forward and Roach fell on it.
Well, I was also watching Roberts, the ball coming forward there to Brooks, and ruling that Brooks, of course, was in an offside position there. So says Greg McCallum. But for mine, Ian Roberts was well and truly in front of the kicker. Here he is there, putting the pressure on Jack. The penalty there should have gone to Balmain.
Mark Ellison has got 101 points for the season from 4 tries, 41 goals and 3 field goals. He makes no mistake with that one. So the score now, South Sydney 6, Balmain 4. Conlon. Drives a little bit shorter this time. The ball's taken a bit of a left-hand turn. Ellison scoops it up, playing in his lock-forward role. Comes out 2 metres from the quarter line. Marvin. Coleman onto Roberts. Roberts has got 5 metres out from the quarter. Well, that pass was a horror. I think Balmain have come up with it through Michael Neal. He scurried away. Scott Gale going very well, using strength, and been dragged over the sideline, I would have thought. Yes, the referee agrees with me. So there's a penalty to Balmain. See it again.
So here's Scotty Gale just about to hit the deck here, and well and truly dragged across the line there by Blake. And more problems for South Sydney, again making mistakes in their own quarter, fumbling the ball.
They didn't take the kick at goal, they took the quick tap, and there's another penalty. Les Davidson getting penalised for aggressive work on Hemsley. Now it's moved in about 13 metres, so... Well, there it is. It's moved in about 13 metres, so Conlon will have a kick at this one. He's had 2 from 2. And he's made it 3 from 3. The score then 6-all here at the Sydney Cricket Ground, Balmain and Souths. Elias cut out pass to Pearce. Pearce is into the clear, getting up towards the halfway, gets it back inside to Gardner. Gardner seemed to stumble slightly there. He's been picked off by Coleman. Now Balmain on the move, out to Neil. Neil dummies, weaves, and I think Conlon's been taken right out of it, and we might get a touch judge's report. We will. The touch judges both are coming in. You might like to see that again. This is a classic example of somebody getting tackled under suspicion.
And not only under suspicion, they were all offside. There it is in back play. Ross Conlon down. A big hit from David Boyle. Well, he might have looked as though he was going to get the ball. Here he is coming off Michael Neal, but Crutch, well, certainly not in possession, and Boyle was a mile offside.
George Piggins very interested in the outcome of this deliberation. Well, he stays on the paddock. It's only been construed as holding. So Conlon, having had time to recover, will try to make it 4 from 4. This is the most difficult of his kicks. He's only about 12 metres from the halfway line, 13 metres perhaps. He's about 7 or 8 metres off centre, but he has the breeze almost directly behind him. And distance won't present a problem. Ross Conlon moves in now. He's got it. So he's really come back into form today. So the score now is Balmain 8, South Sydney 6. Fennick, Johnson, Roach and Hemsley have got him there. Fennick, Coleman. He put out to Michael Blake, who's ridden into the ground on the halfway line. Mario Fennick, Neville, Coleman, Davidson. One-handed pass to Coleman. Coleman back inside to Cruikshank. Cruikshank tackled perfectly. A stopping tackle from Gary Jack. Fennick's gone under a head-high tackle from Hemsley and slipped through the gap. But there's a penalty now against... Yes, it's going to be against Hemsley, I believe. See it again.
Well, it's a difficult call, this one, by Greg McCallum. He's picked up Hemsley here in kicking position for South Sydney for the head-high tackle after he'd played the advantage only a few moments ago for Balmain, letting one go to Phil Blake, and that one was aimed on Wayne Pearce. So, well, he's got to call it as he sees it, and on this occasion, it's tough for Balmain. They should have got a penalty much earlier for the one on Blake on Pearce.
The kick is successful, so they're all locked up once again. Balmain 8, South Sydney 8 in this seesawing match at the SCG. Neville cut out pass. It's gone nicely on the bounce to Cruikshank. Stands his man up, goes round him. Schofield comes again and puts him away. Blake on to Phil Blake. Michael Blake, Coleman. It looks like a great kick. It's a grubber kick aimed for the sideline, and it's gone into touch only about 6 or 7 metres from the corner post. A beautiful kick. Well, 4 minutes and 38 seconds to go to half-time. We've got a touch judge in.
And also, David, we have a change in the South Sydney side.
Yes, Wayne Chisholm's come on, and the player going off is Lindsay Johnson. But I'll tell you what, the South Sydney players have tried to niggle at Wayne Pearce. It's worked. There's a very solid tackle on Ian Roberts a few moments ago, which Roberts reacted to. And for the first time I can remember, I saw Wayne Pearce actually throw a blow on a football field. So obviously the niggling tactics are getting to the Balmain captain.
Scrum's won by Balmain. Michael Neal makes an inroad beyond the advantage line. Gary Jack gets driven a little bit sideways there. They're still inside their quarter. Out to Gale. On to Pearce. Stands in the tackle but gets beyond the quarter. Elias. Gale. Lumps it downfield. Cruikshank to Jason Moon. He's found a hole to run to, and he's running to it up beyond the halfway line, and it's Conlon that has to tackle him. That was a good run. Coleman. Davidson. Trying desperately to get his arms free. Coleman. Roberts upended there by Elias. Good tackle round the boots. Pennick. Back to Ellison. Coleman. Boyle. On there to Michael Blake. He's going strongly. He's not going to get there. He's tackled into touch about 10 metres out. It was a good sprint. A great defence there by Gary Jack and Russell Gardner.
And the Balmain defence starting to fall apart in the last 5 minutes, dropping off tackles, gaps appearing, and Phil Blake nearly taking that to the full advantage there and pulling off a try prior to the break.
About 2.5 minutes to go. Balmain feed the scrum. Won by Neal. He has to just fall on it because Coleman was all over him. Gardner, the old pro, tries to come round the blind side of that ruck. Maguire. Elias out to Brooks, who starts off running in a crab-wise fashion. That's no way to go. Back to Gale. Cruikshank's field of that. It went desperately close to the sideline. He's got some pace, this young man, too. But they handle him well. Chisholm. Michael Blake. Neville comes to grief there on the tackle of Conlon. Coleman. Maven loses possession. 1 minute 19 to go to the break. 8-all the score. Anyone's game. Neal. Gary Jack kicks ahead. He's going to give a penalty. Jack was run into. But these days, you never know. Players can act, see it again, and you be the judge.
Well, George Piggins has got a job on his hand, as I said, at half-time. Here's Jack interfered with the kick, the shoulder charge going into the fullback, and another gift 2 points for Ross Conlon.
Well, Conlon must think all these Christmases have come at once. Moves in now. He gets it, so that's 5 from 5 with 4 seconds to half-time. And the Balmain side are going to come from the field as 10 points to 8 leaders over South Sydney in this match at the moment. The scorers for Balmain have been just the one. Ross Conlon with 5 goals from 5 attempts. South Sydney had scored a try, a great grubber kick by, I believe, Coleman, and a great chase by Phil Blake, who was able to translate that into a try at the northern end of the ground. Goals, Ellison 2 goals from 3 attempts. Balmain 10, South Sydney 8. I'll be back with more in a moment. Well, Mr. McCullum's got them away for the second half. There are no changes in either side. The kickoff has come. Schofield's got it on to Davidson. Davidson's going to try to get it out of the quarter. And he does that. Elias onto Steve Roach, who boils upfield for 7 or 8 metres. That pass looked forward from Elias to Maguire. Neal. Plenty of solid defence still coming in this game. We did notice that the Balmain side were dropping off tackles in the last 10 minutes of that first half. There's a kick through by Benny Elias, who did the kick in the first place. There's a kick. This could be a... Oh, Scott Gale scooped up the ball that had been kicked twice by Balmain players, and he was able to get going with it, but was picked up immediately. Now, there's a penalty been awarded to Balmain. That's a succession of play there that was very difficult to follow, because Balmain players, there was Elias coming through, getting the ball to it. Jason Moon was unable to handle it. It was kicked again by Davidson. Gale was set to score a try there, and a very fine tackle from Michael Blake put him away.
And Mario Fennick was the man coming from an offside position who kicked that ball away in the play of the ball. For mine, if I was Greg McCallum, I would have sent him straight back to the dressing room for 5 minutes.
This is only about 18 metres out and only about 10 metres off centre. He's got it, so that's an astonishing performance by Conlon. A man who was badly out of form comes back with 6 from 6. Balmain 12, South Sydney 8. Ellison to kick off for South Sydney. Schofield takes it, brings it out beyond the quarter. Solid defence from Davidson there. Elias runs from dummy half, runs the blind side, stops, weaves, and then falls over because he's about to go over the sideline. Jack very involved in trying to run the ball away. Elias away to Scott Gale. He's kicked downfield. He's found the wide open spaces. The ball bounces around a bit for Phil Blake. He's kicked it back. Jack takes it on the first bounce.
The Balmain is certainly a lot more fired up. They really did need that half-time break. They were coming up with a lot of missed tackles just prior to half-time. And they, as I said, especially a man like Steve Roach, he hasn't had a lot of football in 1987, so Balmain with a lot of replacements up their sleeves in this second half. Steve Roach man who will most likely to come off and Siren in a replacement.
Conlon scooped up that ball that had been thrown, rather elaborate pass from Elias went to ground. There's Maguire. He's lost the football. The referee apparently is happy that the ball was knocked out by a South Sydney player because he stopped play immediately. Blake's on the move, getting up beyond the halfway line, still going, gets a pass away out there to Cruikshank, the fullback. He kicks ahead. There's plenty of players there at the moment, and it's run over the dead ball line by Michael Neal. A moment of drama for the Balmain side.
And a moment that will take them back just virtually 6 days to Leichhardt Oval. This is where all the problems came for the Tigers out wide. Ross Conlon badly missing Phil Blake, so problems still out there in the centre defence line.
Now Scott Gale going to attempt to get this ball back upfield. It's not a bad drop kick. Straight to Marvin. Well, he runs straight at the Balmain defence. No subtlety about it at all. Coleman on a Davidson. Has the ball stolen by Elias. Elias is going to go away. He kick-starts and goes again. On the blind side goes Brooks. Makes about 6 metres up the blind there, but there's been a player prostrate on the ground here at the moment. The trainer's in to see what the trouble is, and a touch judge is in to report.
Well, you'll see it there as Benny Elias tries to fend off Coleman. Whether he was intentional, he certainly copped a forearm or an elbow to the side of the face that appeared in that replay. He hasn't moved since the tackle. Here it comes, the forearm coming up, the elbow crunch, and the touch judge hasn't missed it.
George Pickens there must be very happy that Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone, because he's very busy on it. Now Ellison, 9 metres out from the quarter, 13 or 14 metres in from the sideline. It's unsuccessful. So the score remains Balmain 12, South Sydney 8. Only goes as far as Chisholm, 9 metres from the halfway line. He steps back and shows a good turn of speed to bring it back to within 1 metre of the quarter line. Coleman, Ellison, Davidson standing very wide, almost an outside centre on that occasion. Mario Fennick, Coleman, back to Fennick, sticks his head down and goes, but the defence is equal to the task. Gets to his feet, plays it, there was no marker there. Darryl Neville weaving, running, gets it there onto Ellison. Ellison ran out of support. He's tackled only about 3 metres out from the line. Coleman does the grubber kick through. It's taken by Coleman, and it'll be a penalty. They were all offside. Not back to 5 yards or to the goal line, whichever is the nearer. Yes, Paul Sirenen's just made an appearance on the field, and he'll be replacing Steve Roach, who is apparently running out of steam a little bit.
Yes, that is the situation. That means McGuire will come up into the front row. Now, Andrews has also come on, warming up on the touchline here in front of me. So, obviously a replacement coming up in the South Sydney lineup as well.
The score is Balmain 12, South Sydney 8. No trouble with that, so back they come again, the South Sydney side. Balmain 12, South Sydney 10. Elias once again. Neil, Gale did well to hold that. The ball bobbled around his hands as he was hit by Neville. Schofield, Elias, kicked it. Ross has taken it. Brings it back towards the halfway line. 7 metres from it, in fact. Cruikshank.
Both sides tending to run one out at this stage. This game is virtually sitting up there and waiting to be won. Somebody's got to take it, really put a stranglehold on this game. Craig Coleman for South. He's got to start to organise. And Scott Gale for Balmain. I think the chances are on out wide if they can set up their backs.
Roberts, Chisholm. Good driving tackle there by Brooks. Coleman, Ellison, Boyle, spins through a tackle. Tackle midway between the quarter and the halfway. Coleman kicks ahead. The chase is on. Gartner's got to it first. He'll bring it back. Andrews has been beaten. He's doing well. He's got the pass outside to Neil, and Neil taken up about 10 metres beyond the quarter line. Gets up, plays it again. Only made a couple of metres on that occasion. Plenty of activity in this game. On to Hemsley. Hemsley charges forward. This is a blood and guts contest, let me tell you. They're not taking any prisoners. Schofield. Player down. There's Davidson going strongly up the sideline, and his feet have just touched the sideline.
Well, this no doubt will be a penalty to Balmain. Ben Elias well and truly hit late after he unloaded the ball from the dummy half position. Ian Roberts, keep your eye on the marker here. The ball's gone. Bye-bye, Benny Elias. This has got to be brought back, and a penalty to the Tigers.
Well, Gale's going to kick for touch. That's the upshot. Well, there's a fellow that knows a bit about grand final football you've got with you, David. I'll let you introduce him. The fans will be delighted.
Yes, we've got the great legendary Changalang Lang. Graeme, it's great to have you on the touchline. You're a bit disappointed, though, only one try so far in the semi-final.
Well, that's right, David. There's been a lot of hard knocks out there, but just a pity that there's been 18 points scored through goal kicks. But naturally, that's going to win them the game.
Well, Graeme, it's been a week of mixed emotions with the special guest at the Rothmans Medal on Tuesday night, but also the sad passing of a great old teammate, Popper Clay.
This is right, David. He was a great player and a great man. He was a gentleman off the paddock and one of the toughest guys that I've ever seen on the football paddock.
OK, well, enjoy that special tribute on Tuesday night.
Thanks very much, David.
OK, Graeme Langland's Rex, and just reflecting here earlier about some of the great moments here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Next year, of course, we're off to the Sydney football, the new arena there, but I was just reflecting on that great triumphant march by St George and the big involvement of Popper Clay that he made during that premiership run by the mighty Dragons.
Yes, David, it's all very well for you to talk about it, but I had to play against them all during that period, and they were monumental. I can tell you, they were monumental. But a great side. All right, well, we're back to the action here with only 2 points the difference. South Sydney have got the bit between their teeth. They're charging for the Balmain line. They're standing in tackles. They've moved it out to Andrews, to Chisholm, to Coleman, back inside to Neville, who's been a little bit more advantageous to the South Sydney side this week. Under Robertson, he's broken the first line of defence and got into the quarter. Oh, I thought he was going to go on with that. Fennick gets it out there to what's his name out there on the right wing, Mark Ross, the replacement. And now there's a South Sydney player being decked, and we'll see the incident again. And apparently it's going to be an opportunity for Sirinen, is the man that's responsible. It's going to be an opportunity for the South Sydney side to get on level terms.
Well, it was a push, and geez, you know, if that's going to cost Balmain 2 points, I certainly don't think there was too much to that.
Yes, well, it may well do cost them 2 points. It didn't look very much to me. Now, this is a critical kick. It's Balmain 12, South Sydney 10, 14 minutes to go. Ellison moves in. He's got it. So we're locked up at 12 all with 14 minutes to go. Fasten your seatbelts. South Sydney win the scrum. Coleman has it at the base of the scrum. Andrews onto Davidson, one-handed pass. Andrews loses it, back to Neil. He runs crossfield, he evades the Ellison tackle, but he doesn't evade the Cruikshank tackle, who flew at him and got him chest high. Conlon.
Now, this is where Paul Sirenen's got to come into his own. He's been sent out there with only some 24 minutes when he were only left on the clock when he went out there. He's got to come up with a lot of work, and he's got to be the man that's got to cause that trouble for South Sydney. Here he is now heading up out wide of the ruck.
But all he's running is done with a slight side-on bias, and it's no way that he's going to get through the type of work is required of him doing that. He must time his run and run straight. Now Gale, out to Neil, well taken, have to reach for it, out to Jack. Jack away to Schofield. Schofield's over halfway, going well, gets it out to Gardner. Gardner's going up the field. They've got a very nice passage of play going for them. They've made some mileage. Now let's see whether they can put it all together by bringing it back. Well, there's a stupid attempt at a field goal from a long way out that went nowhere to Phil Blake, and he's elected to run it and brought it back 30 metres. I don't know what took Benny Elias's fancy there with that field goal. That was not on.
But Balmain did show that if you can set yourself out in the backs, find your back line and line them out properly, these sides are very, very tired, and there are gaps out wide.
Midfield, South Sydney in possession just outside their quarter. Andrews was the player that took all the time. That kick's been charged down. Ellison waves is instructed by the referee at 6 to go. Cruikshank onto Phil Blake. He's got himself into the clear. He's looking for support, but there's a lovely tackle from Michael Neal. Picks him off 10 metres into the Balmain quarter. Out to Coleman. Coleman out to Darryl Neville, who props a little bit and comes back inside. That's a criticism I have of him. Ellison, Davidson, Andrews, back inside to Ellison again. South Sydney racing back into position, rather Balmain racing back into position. Mario Fennick running from dummy half, got a pass away of sorts. Good backslamming tackle on Andrews there. Neville kicks and chases. Gary Jack drops it, falls on it, picks it up, and finally has to go down on it. So it'll be a line drop out to restart the play. Watch that action again.
And a good kick from Darryl Neville. He saw that Gary Jack was a little bit out of position. They were all setting themselves and waiting for this field goal. Now, South Sydney don't want to have to play the 10 minutes extra each way. Now, if we're locked at 12 all at full time, it's 10 minutes each way again. So that's why Benny Elias set himself for the field goal. Now, South Sydney have the perfect opportunity. 3 or 4 tackles. All they have to do is set themselves for the post and set up a field goal specialist either side of the ruck.
Oh, Maven hit beautifully by Pearce and a front-on tackle that wrecked him. Coleman, Boyle, another fine tackle, this time by Brooks. Elias is there to assist. Coleman, there's a drop at goal, is it there? It's there, South Sydney have hit the front. They lead by 13 points to 12. And Phil Blake is the man that's been the difference in that respect. He's come up with that one-pointer at a critical time. Can Balmain come back from it? That's Ellison playing at 5'8" on that scrum. Oi! Boyle and Brooks came together. Roberts. Good tough run. 13 points to 12. South Sydney lead Balmain. 6.5 minutes to go. Mario Fennick. Coleman out to Ellison, who's playing as a 5'8" now. Last tackle. Coleman. Little grubber kick being put through. It'll be a good one. And goes into touch only about 5 metres out from the Balmain line.
Cooperation to keep off the Sydney Cricket Ground at the end of today's semi-final.
It's exactly what's needed.
And anyone moving on to the SCG will be prosecuted. We ask please for your cooperation and fairness to the players.
One by Balmain. Neil started to go around the open side, changed his mind. Davidson picked off by Coleman. Hemsley. They've used up 3 tackles, getting about 7 yards. Elias, Gale, Pearce. Pass back inside to Jack. Jack to Gale. Gale out to Conlon. Held the ball, dummied. Looks for support. Kicks ahead. It's a race for the ball now. The ball will go towards the sideline. South Sydney have not got it. There should be a penalty to Balmain there, holding a man off the ball. Here's a moment for Conlon.
Well, definitely a penalty here again, quite correct. A great opportunity for Balmain. Nearly a good kick from Ross Conlon. Gardner pulled off the ball here. And Ross Conlon, well, the pressure on him before he went into the game about having to come up with a kicking performance, and Scott Gale then really having the Balmain supporters take their heart into their mouths there and nearly taking the quick tap. But Conlon there, you can see, using sawdust here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Balmain have let him train and practice his kicks with sawdust. I don't know if it makes any difference at all, but right throughout the season at Leichhardt Oval, he's had to use sand there to place the ball. But Billy Anderson wanted it perfect, and so far it is 6 from 6.
And it's 5 metres in from the sideline. It's on the quarter line, kicking across the breeze. Bill Anderson is the study in dementia at the moment. The South Sydney players won't be able to believe their bad luck if this goes over. George Piggins would not be watching, one wouldn't think. Conlon. Well, the touch judge must be a South Sydney fan, because he started flagging before the ball had actually got to the goal post. Now, Phil Blake came away with a marvellous run there, fielded the ball in goal and came out beyond the quarter. 3 minutes and 58 seconds to go. He's had an outstanding game today, Phil Blake, no question about it. Wayne Chisholm trying to make a bit of an inroad there, but he was well tackled. Fennick switches it back to Andrews, driven backwards in the tackle. 3:33, 3:30, and the crowd are counting it down. It's a close one. South Sydney 13, Balmain 12. The kick has been put downfield. It will go nowhere. Oh, Ross whistle, Gardner, what have you done? Oh, he passed the ball to Gary Jack and the ball was knocked down by a South Sydney player. That could have gone anywhere. See that again. This is desperation time for Balmain. Look at this.
Well, it's a situation where he had to try and take that option there because they couldn't afford to be caught in their own area. Balmain doing the right thing now, giving this ball some air. They've got to search to the wings.
Gary Jack out to Neil. Scott Gale props, stops, back to Schofield. Out to Gale, long cut-out pass to Conlon. Out to Maguire. Maguire throws the dummy, gets it back inside. The ball was knocked on by, well, I thought the ball was knocked on by a South Sydney player. He's going to allege that the ball was touched by a Balmain man.
Well, this ball that goes back inside, this is a very important decision to see who comes up here with the feed. Well, he's ruling and allowing Balmain to come up.
Gale on a Jack. We've got 2 minutes exactly to go. And South Sydney would be elated over that decision there because that pass has been ruled forward, which gives South Sydney the feed. That pass there was forward from Gale to Jack. And there's another penalty being awarded for incorrectly kicking for the football in the play the ball. Now this should just about take South Sydney into the match next week. Ellison drives it. He's kicked it, and that is South Sydney through with only 49 seconds to go. 15 points to 12. They've scored a try and a field goal, and the man that's really done all the good work for them in the way of being a little bit deft with his explosive speed was Phil Blake. But here come Balmain, but they've lost the ball, trying to play, as Jack Gibson would call it, catch-up football with 26 seconds to go. South Sydney should be able to play out this 6-tackle sequence without any drama, without any pain, and get themselves a week further on in this situation. Chisholm busts away. 10 seconds, 9 seconds, 8 seconds. The crowd have set up a chant. And there it goes. South Sydney are through into the match next week with a 15 points to 12 victory over Balmain. Blake scored the only try of the match. Blake kicked a field goal and Ellison kicked 5 goals from 7 attempts. Conlon 6 goals from 7 attempts. South Sydney 15, Balmain 12. And there was the look on the face of a coach of absolute desperation.
It all started more than 20 years ago, when many of us were still pups. 2 big men, though one was small in stature, gave birth to the Winfield Cup. Since that time there've been many who've played the game to the end. They played it tough, but they played it fair, and walked off the field as friends. That's what the big game's all about. Giving it the best you can. Playing like a mortal, then playing like Superman. Giving it all you know. Giving it your best shots. 'Cause there are no second prizes. You're a winner or you're not. Who will it be this year? A small man walking tall, or a big man even bigger to collect the greatest prize of all?
Well, a big win there to South in the dying stages over Balmain, and bad luck for Billy Anderson and the Tigers. On to the big one on Sunday between East and Canberra, and the fairy tale of the 1987 season, the Canberra Raiders finding themselves in the top half of the semi-final action. Classic confrontation this, Canberra relying on their forwards, Eastern Suburbs searching out wide for the pace of the wingers, Steve Morris and Joe Lydon.
The State Bank Big Game presents the Winfield Cup.
As the Winfield Cup final series continues, we welcome you today to the Sydney Cricket Ground for the major preliminary semi-final between Eastern Suburbs and Canberra. Skipper Hugh McGann, the Kiwi international, leads out the Roosters today, knowing a win will see them up against Manly next weekend. And their full team readout is Worth, Morris, Smith, Melrose, Lydon, Hall, Spiner, Truella, Gilmeister, McGann, Rampling, Simpkins and Shepherd. It must be a proud moment for all Canberra supporters as the Raiders captain Dean Lance takes his team onto the Sydney Cricket Ground for the very first time in a semi-final. And their full team today is Belcher, Kinner, Henjack, Jackson, Corkery, O'Sullivan, Kay Walters, Lance, Coyne, Gilbert, Bacco, S. Walters and Todd. Mick Stone is the referee for our State Bank big game between Easts and Canberra. They're away in this particular match in which Mr. Stone has been judged to be the referee. Canberra is defending the southern end of the ground. Eastern Suburbs kicked off. They're defending the northern end. And Eastern Suburbs at the moment have got the Canberra side pinned in their quarter. And there's the first penalty of the match. We're inside the 5 against Eastern Suburbs. A loud booing goes up on the receipt of that penalty. And this will give Canberra the opportunity to get play down towards the halfway line. Jackson was the kicker. A tap restart. That looked a forward pass as if Brent Todd had overrun Walters. Henjack might be switched around here. He might be used as a halfback early on. We'll see about that. Kevin Walters running from dummy half. Hardly the player to do that. There's Henjack making a move forward. And back it goes for the kick to Gary Belcher. Still gets a serve from Rampling. Might have been just in time. Gary Worth slowly to his feet, and now there's a penalty being awarded against Canberra for failing to get away from the tackled player. So it's a standard opening for this game in which Eastern Suburbs are slight favourites to win. Incidentally, the XPT was hired by the Canberra club today, and about 400 Canberra supporters are down here per the XPT. And the Manly club are sitting in the Wormel Brothers box down here in the Brawongle stand. There you can see a number of the players that we were talking about. There's Truella looking back on the inside to pass it. No support there. Midway between the quarter and the halfway. Another penalty against Canberra for invasion of the 5 yards. And the referee is getting roundly booed now by the Canberra section of the crowd.
Well, that's good by Michael Stone, because he's got to keep these two sides apart if we're going to see an open semi-final series. Yesterday, I thought both sides, Balmain and South Sydney, were guilty of trying to take on the referee and crib inside the 5 metres. Obviously, Mick Stone wants to make sure that everybody knows who's in control this afternoon.
Simpkins. Linden, McGann. Pass looked a little bit suspect, but the referee has allowed it. Rampling trying to bully his way through the edge of the ruck. There was no work there. Shepherd, McGann back on the inside to Spiner. Spiner out to Worth, out there to Melrose. Melrose going strongly. There's a new lease of life, this player, since leaving the Manly club. There's David Truella motoring up to the quarter line. Canberra on the defensive now. Spiner, Worth, and he's Shepherd. Tackled on the quarter line. It's the last tackle. We'll see what option they use. Melrose gets the bomb. Jackson, McGann is there. Oh, McGann's pulled it out of the air and scored a fantastic try. We'll have to see whether he was onside, but by heavens, that's an astonishing try. He was standing wide and came through it. A ray did not see it again.
And there it is, the bomb coming up on the replay. The bomb still sticking its head up in 1987 here. And Belcher, well, no cover defence there. They looked up, trying to check the referee to see if, in fact, on the State Bank replay, he was onside. Line ball decision here to see whether McGann was onside. Tough one to call, but there was no cover defence there for Belcher. Peter Jackson was standing in front of him, wondering why the referee hadn't called him offside. Well, you've got to play the whistle, and these Canberra players should have been back there giving some sort of screen to Belcher. Unprotected, and the advantage with the man on the run, Hugh McGann.
Now, David Smith to attempt the conversion from 10 metres out. That's the worst possible start for Canberra. After 8 minutes, a try, and a good try, been allowed. And he's got the extra, so that's it. Eastern Suburbs 6, Canberra 0. And it's going to be a busy afternoon if they keep up this frenetic pace they're going at the moment. Henjak. Jackson. Driven sideways. The last tackle coming up now for Canberra. Walters. O'Sullivan. Kick downfield. Stands on its end nicely for Worth. Oh, look at the pace of him. He's got away from one. That was Ashley Gilbert. Finally picked off there by Coyne. Melrose trying to crack the Canberra forwards. Simpkins moving it out wide. There's a low ball that's gone too hard. This could be something for Canberra, but it's been snuffed out. The chance came and went very quickly. Laurie Spina was awake to it and rounded it up. See that?
Good play by Laurie Spina to be following that ball across the back line. Good tidying up there from Spina. The semi-finals and the grand final since 1980 really have been dominated by halfbacks. You think of Sterling and, of course, Steve Mortimer. And Laurie Spina is going to be a man that really does control the destiny of Eastern Suburbs in 1987.
Simpkins back to Melrose. The kicking game coming into effect. Belcher takes this beautifully, 10 metres out from his quarter. He showed the ball to Corkery but didn't pass it. Corkery running from dummy half. Another good run. There's all of 13 metres he's made up the blind side. Walters, Henjak, Todd. He's one that needs to stand deep and get moving. He's not quick off the mark. Henjak, O'Sullivan, Jackson. Right on the halfway line. On to Coyne. Last tackle. At least the Suburbs player struggling to his feet there. The kick downfield has been put in. It looks like it might be a good one. It's going to go into the in-goal area. Gary Worth gets wrapped up about 4 metres out from his goal line. That was Hugh McGann receiving treatment there. There he goes. He's back on his feet again. I think he's still carrying something of a shoulder or arm injury. Spina. Melrose has shed himself of a tackler but can't get past Walters, who came in over the top. Up to McGann, who's kicked for his winger. The ball has bounced. It's been picked up by Walters. He's making a good inroad back towards the line. I don't quite know why McGann kicked so delicately then. O'Sullivan trying to make a probing run, gets half through the tackle and into the quarter. Jackson. Yes, he tries to run too much from dummy half, Jackson. Every time he goes there, he has a sprint, a bit of a try on, but they're awake to that. Sam Bacco ploughing strongly forward. Watched by his coach there, Don Ferner. Henjak, pass back on the inside. It's going to be a pass to Walters. That's Steve Walters, the hooker, has come up with a very, very sound try, a very neat little try, and it's going to put a whole new complexion on this game, believe me. See this one again and watch the backing up on the inside.
So on the State Bank replay, good thinking from Henjack. He and Chris O'Sullivan have been probing, and very simple back on the inside. Eastern Suburbs going to sleep, really caught napping there by Steve Walters. Good play, support play from the hooker who had backed up from the dummy half position, but the defensive line there, you see it moving up out wide, but there's nobody at home back on the inside. Robert Simpkins, well, that marker defence had certainly knocked off for Eastern Suburbs, and their forwards on the ruck guilty of not being back there on the inside.
Now Belcher, who is by no means a regular goal kicker, has taken over the very important role for Canberra, directly in front, about 2 metres off centre. Straight as a gun barrel, so the scores then that we have here at the Sydney Cricket Ground: Eastern Suburbs 6, Canberra 6. Scrum fed by Henjack for Canberra, onto Belcher, who tried to intrude up the blind side. Made about 10 metres. He's not going to have a marker when he gets up this time. Out to Walters, Lance, Sam Bacco with a headband. Very formidable man when he runs at full speed. Coyne back inside to Ashley Gilbert, is it, or Bacco? Ashley Gilbert. Here's Brent Todd. Beautiful pass. And there's a penalty going to be awarded against the Eastern Suburbs side for inside the 5. The referee was playing the advantage.
So Canberra's starting to get a little bit of a roll on here. Each defence is certainly standing back and waiting. They're not coming up to the advantage line and meeting the Raiders, so they're certainly starting to get some mileage up, and they're allowing plenty of space as they look wide for Belcher and Peter Jackson.
That kick has been a good one, played to within 10 metres of the line. Brent Todd, Walters, Sam Bacco on the charge. He's there! Big Sam has cracked the Eastern Suburbs line. It looked like butter. He's gone through 2 tackles to force his way over. Very, very strong play. See that again, and it'll be good looking from head on.
Well, it was coming on the State Bank replay. If you're going to stand back and allow fellas like Sam Bacco and Ashley Gilbert and Gary Coyne to get up a bit of motoring, well, they just didn't meet him at the advantage line. They were waiting, and very simple first-up tackles being missed. And it's unlike Huey McGann to miss a simple one. He just went low. Tony Rampling tried to go over the top, but bang, they're all in each other's way there and just falling off tackles. If the first one, the try to Steve Walters was under the post, was a problem for Arthur Beetson, this is even more so. This really has compounded it, because that should not have been a try.
Belcher. The roar from the crowd tells you that he's been successful. So Canberra now lead 12 points, Eastern Suburbs 6. He's attempted to drive that deep, or Kinner takes it, Chris Kinner rather, takes it well. Just beyond the quarter line. Here's Coyne. Henjack has pushed out a dummy half there. O'Sullivan's gone in and gone for a little motor. Jackson kicks downfield. The Canberra chasers are there. Worth fields it back to his quarter line. He's running cross field, and a perfect tackle by Walters. Kevin Walters, that is. Back inside to Dave Smith, who's well handled by Todd, who belts his arm away. Spina, Shepherd, Hall. It's a good run from the young fella. He gets to within 3 metres of the halfway line. Still on the blind side, out to Melrose. Truella. Very powerful run from this little pocket battleship. Spina falls over to take that, clears it well. Brendan Hall gets the pass away beautifully to Gilmeister, but it's been judged forward. See that again.
A good view here on the replay. There was a 10-metre line just there, and catching the ball probably just on the line. Line ball decision, but probably just a touch forward.
And Jack still feeding the scrums. He's fed that one successfully out to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan steps, gets perilously close to being through there. Belcher running from dummy half. Again, just caught by one leg. O'Sullivan tried to take that pass from Hall, but there was no way. Long cut-out pass to McGahn, standing very wide out to Spina. Spina shows the ball back on the inside, gets it to Melrose. He's tackled very, very well by Bacco, covering out there nicely. Shepherd goes from Motor. Got a pass away as he was falling. Melrose trying to get himself into the clear. Has done so, looks for support. Gets a pass away beautifully to Rambling. Rambling's lost the ball forward. And it's going to be a scrum just about 5 metres inside the Canberra in goal, in the field of play.
Good ball there from Tony Melrose and a strong run. Some feeble defence it was from Canberra that allowed the break. So both sides guilty of standing back and allowing either side when in possession of the ball. Plenty of room to move.
That scrum was won by Canberra. It was almost a win against the fee, but he's got the penalty. The lock forward had left the scrum before the ball was out. I think you'll find that was Truella who was penalised there. Jackson's kick is a good one. Beyond the quarter line he goes. 12 points to 6. Canberra lead Eastern Suburbs. And Jack on a Bacco nicely away to Coyne. Coyne looks for support, gets it to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan gets it to Henjack, goes under a head-high tackle. Being told to get to his feet quickly. Canberra got players out here on the right. O'Sullivan goes for a motor. He's tackled beautifully there by Gilmeister. Out to Walters, on to Belcher. Belcher throws the dummy, gets the pass to Keener, and it's over the sideline. Way behind him and over the sideline it goes.
Great opportunity missed there, and Don Ferner and Wayne Bennett knowing that too. But Kinner was guilty of overrunning Belcher there. He should have hung back. Belcher showed the ball back inside, so Kinner should have just hung back and the ball would have been perfect for him.
Great attacking play by the Canberra side, but brought undone by one faulty pass. I'm inclined to think that the wingers are being too level with the man on the inside. I think they've got to be back 6 or 7 metres on most occasions. Eastern Suburbs in possession. Hugh McGahn taking it away from his line, gets beyond the quarter. This tackles, East 7, Canberra 6. Scoreline, Canberra 12, Eastern Suburbs 6. Rambling showing a tough guy attitude to football. Long kick downfield is going to bounce towards the goal line. It's fielded about 9 metres out by Belcher. He's got virtually the whole of the Eastern Suburbs team to beat. They were all chasing. Kinner evades one tackle. Just out beyond the quarter line. About 12.5 minutes to go. Little kick over the top. They found the wide open spaces. Taken by Coyne. Coyne giving it out to the forward, Brett Todd. Todd has lost the ball forward. And it's apparently gone to a Eastern Suburbs player, Gary Worth. See that again.
So another great opportunity. There was people inside and outside. I thought the better option for Todd was to go back the other way, but he chose Walters where the defence was.
It's a great chance come and gone. Canberra defending hard now, but they've can't miss these opportunities that they have been having. McGahn wrapped up just as he was about to get the ball away. Good strong tackle. Linden to Melrose, who drives it hard downfield. It's going to go back near the Canberra goal line, actually into the in-goal area. Oi, taken by Belcher. It went between his legs. Now Corkery will have to run it from there. It's a good strong surge too. He's out beyond the quarter line. Well, Corkery taking all sorts of time to get to his feet and play it. Oh, that pass looked marginal too. To Ashley Gilbert, he was very level with it when he took it. And Lance Jackson, young player that's come well and surely of age in the last 12 months. Belcher caressing that ball, beautifully taken by Worth back in his own quarter. Here's Coyne. Worth runs away from him. Henjack's in the pursuit. He's gone right round in a great big circle. It's a good run. Got it out to Linden. Linden kicks ahead. He's taken out of the play by Kenner. And there's going to be a penalty to Eastern Suburbs. Well, that's going to be a marginal sort of a thing. I believe that perhaps Kenner was entitled to finish his tackle, but they're taking the quick tap. The action's centred now only about 3 metres out from the Canberra line. McGahn switches the play back to the blind side to Melrose, and now it's been knocked on by Chuella. It's all come and gone.
Well, East decided to take the quick tap. They ruled against the possibility of kicking for goal. There was a possible 2 points. Now they've come up with none, and the feed for Canberra. But Canberra also lucky not to be a man down. There should have been a sin bin used there for that professional foul.
Canberra have come up with a scrum feed. Well, Henjack's either pretending or injured, but he took a long while to get to his feet. Now Belcher. Midfield, it's been played at a great pace this game. Oh, there's some loose ball. Now Eastern Suburbs are in possession, only about 13 metres out. Can Canberra reorganise quickly? Up to Gilmeister. Gilmeister away to Smith, and Smith's in for the try. That's good work from McGahn. Sheet that try home well and truly to the Eastern Suburbs skipper, who saw the opportunity and whizzed it out very, very quickly. David Smith's the scorer, but all the brain work was done well back on the inside.
Experience and pressure, big-time stuff in semi-finals. The experience came with Hugh McGahn. He knew that quick hands was needed out wide. They hadn't reorganised themselves quickly enough, Canberra, and up come the try. The pressure was brought about by Canberra themselves, who just made the silly mistake of losing possession inside their own quarter. They've been put back on their heels after securing that lead. They worked themselves well, and they were having the better of play. But now East have surged back with that try through David Smith. You just can't afford to make mistakes in your own quarter. South Sydney nearly lost yesterday's semi-final because of silly penalties inside their own 22, and now the Canberra Raiders letting that try back on for East through David Smith.
And moves in now. He's kicked it, so the scores are locked up at 12 points all with 6.5 minutes to go to half-time break. Spina, ball. He had Slippery Morris coming around him then, but couldn't get the pass away. Look at the acceleration of this man. Look at him go. He's kicked ahead. The race is on. Belcher will get there first. Belcher falls on the ball. He's wrapped up there nicely by Hugh McGahn, who's on the follow. Outstanding game he's playing. There he goes with a tackle on Corkery. And Walters trying to run from dummy half, Steve Walters. Kinner. About 31 seconds to go to the break. Time for one last hurrah by the Canberra side. Last tackle coming up. Jackson. He's kicked downfield.
Well, this is the danger. It's Joe Lydon with an open field. He's plenty of pace, probably the quickest man on the field with 30 seconds to go. They've got out of that situation there. Peter Jackson, that's not the way to go about a kicking game.
That was kicking to the open side wing, and when that winger is Joe Lydon, it's a no-no. So an entertaining, a most entertaining game. A game full of spirited running, great tackling, some flimsy defence at times, but a game that we can really feel that has been a good first 40 minutes. We're going to hope the second half is just as good. Yes, we'll just get David Fordham to tell us who the change is in the Eastern Suburbs side, and we'll be off.
Well, the English international Joe Lydon is the man that's off the field for Eastern Suburbs. On the left wing is Wayne Chalice. He'll be wearing jersey number 15. Also a bit of doubt about Brendan Hall. He twisted a knee just before half-time. Interesting to note that he's come out with his left knee quite heavily strapped.
OK. Hugh McGann, who's had an astonishing first half, catches the ball from the kick-off, and they've got it to Gilmeister. He's out to the quarter. Now to Truella. He motors forward in a very effective fashion. There's going to be a Canberra player called out for a head-high tackle here. And Gilmeister, Truella rather, is doing the usual thing. There's the tackle. It wasn't all that bad. It deserves a penalty, but the crowd were starting to shout to the referee, off, 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 which of course was ridiculous.
If there's any criticism of Eastern Suburbs in the first half, it was the fact, and there was a fairly good example of it there with David Truella, that he was left posted. The Eastern Suburbs forwards have been tending to run one out in this semi-final. And as far as Canberra are concerned, a little bit disappointed in their kicking game when they have kicked deep. Quite often Peter Jackson and Gary Belcher have been guilty of kicking to the open side of the field to Gary Worth and Joe Lydon. Dangerous tactics.
Well, Danny Shepherd just had a ball stripped from him that he was trying to carry through on the first tackle. And Canberra back in possession. That's no way for a first-grade forward to handle the first tackle, losing the ball. On the blind side it goes, out to Henjack. He's probing at the moment, both sides. Midway between the quarter and the halfway. Oi, there's McGann again. He stops him. Jackson with a marvellous tackle. Ball and all. But Belcher has come up with a good, strong kick. Worth takes it and drops it. Might be really caned on this occasion. Has got it to Jackson. Walters did that. There's a long cut-out pass gone to Corkery, and Corkery's dropped it. Oh, God, spare me days. There's a golden opportunity to score a try in the scoreboard corner. Has gone begging. See it again.
So for the second time, Corkery receiving a bit of a difficult ball way out in front of him. He tried to drag it in. There was plenty of cover defence. Jackson might have even been better served just to hang on to that pass. They had 6 tackles up their sleeve, and Eastern Suburbs with their forwards caught well and truly downfield.
And it's interesting to note that's the first error that Worth's made today, but my heavens, it was nearly a caning for the Eastern Suburbs side from the error. Slippery Morris running from dummy half. He's made a good bust, got a pass away beautifully to Truella. Truella's up towards the halfway line. He's going beautifully. He's now 10 metres, 12 metres beyond the halfway. That was a great run. Belcher had to tackle him. Here's Brendan Hall. It's out to Melrose. Melrose looking for Rampling. Melrose is stopped in his tracks there by Sam Bacco. Simpkins elects to run from dummy half. Slips a pass nicely on the inside to Hall, who's tackled and has lost the football, I believe. No, he hasn't. The referee says, let him up and play it. Bacco throws a punch, that's stupid. Out to Spina. Spina's evaded 2 defenders, and the last tackle coming up. They're a bit light on the right. The way the play's gone at the moment, Milrose grubber kicks through, taken by Henjack, and he's belted back about 5 metres. The poor little man had to stand there and take the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune as they came towards him.
Good play from East. They're relying on very quick play of the balls. The Roosters are getting up quickly to play that ball and making easy yardage out of the dummy half area. Canberra have got to do likewise.
Corkery running from dummy half. Yes, there's apparently another change talked about in the Eastern Suburbs lineup, David.
Yes, Brad Tassel will be coming on in jersey number 18. Apparently the problem with Steve Morris, he's been quite physically ill out here. He's got a gastric complaint. He's already vomited once in this early stage of the second half, so he will be replaced very shortly.
Henjack, Walters, O'Sullivan, that look forward. Back inside to Walters. Walters weaving. Got a heavy tackle there. Not suggesting it was head high, but it was a pretty heavy tackle. Henjack, dummies. Looked as though he was about to kick there for a moment. Walters. Sam Backo running, got a pass away. Out to Walters. Back on the inside to Coyne. Coyne's made a good bust up the middle of the field. Got to within 5 metres of the quarter line. Out to Jackson. Oh, Jackson, what are you doing, lad? A dreadful kick. Just absolutely went off the side of his foot. Now, Chuila has been coming out of the scrums just a little bit before they've been won or lost. He stayed in that one okay. Out to Brendan Hall, out to Melrose. Melrose has gone strongly today. He gets out to the quarter. Smith. Worth picked off nicely. Dean Lance, the man that did the job. McGahn elects to get a long one away to Brendan Hall, who's gone right up the middle of the field. Looks for support, gets it back inside to Slippery Morris. He gets a flick pass to Simpkins. Simpkins gets it over the top to Spina. Spina taken out of it beautifully there by Corkery. By Keena, rather. Eastern Suburbs on the fly now, out to Morris. Morris to Hall. Melrose gets it back inside to Chalice. Chalice is searching for the line. He's taken out of it with a strong tackle by Sam Backo over the top. Laid him out very, very strongly. Worth. Hall. Moving nicely to McGahn. McGahn out there to Shepherd. Shepherd away to Gilbert. Gilbert sprinting for the corner. He's going to be taken over the sideline. Got it back into Spina. Got it to Rambling, and Rambling's only 2 metres out from the line. This is an incredible passage of play by Eastern Suburbs. There's a kick ahead, or the bomb really been put up, and it's taken by who? I think Slippery Morris has come up with a try. I think Slippery Morris has come up with a try there after a most incredible passage of play by Eastern Suburbs that had everybody here on the edge of their seats. Believe me, say it again.
On the State Bank replay, strong protest from Canberra. They're arguing that Steve Morris was involved in losing a ball here. While the end on camera might show it, Mick Stone was fairly confidently awarding the try as the bomb goes up here just in front of, perfectly placed in front of the line here. Keep your eye on Stevie Morris. Did he touch that? For mine, it came off his hand and forearm. I'm probably in agreement with Canberra that this ball was lost and touched by Steve Morris. So here it comes bouncing back now. Keep your eye on him. Touching the ball there, knocking it on, no try.
The score is 16, Eastern Suburbs, Canberra 12. It's now 18 points to 12 in Eastern Suburbs' favour. And a turnaround of the game that might be very, very dramatic as far as this Canberra side's concerned. Well, the kick-off takes place. Slippery Morris, who elected to stay on the field. Indeed, he was insistent on doing so just a few moments ago when offered a replacement. Has come up with a controversial try, and there's no way you'd get him off there at the moment on a Gilmeister. Now, can Canberra come back? There's still plenty of time, 24 minutes. They need to work their way into a good attacking position and then sustain some pressure. The kick has been put downfield, fielded by Belcher. He's tackled there well by Hall and Smith. Kinner runs from dummy half. Dean Lance, long cutout pass out to Ashley Gilbert, who's consistently been a little bit quiet today, not getting into a position to run as he usually does. Walters, back to Jackson. Morris allowed that ball to go past him without attempting to take it because he realised if he knocked on, it would be a scrum feed to the Canberra side. Have we had any scrums against the feed? There has not been any, according to my statistician. Ball. Melrose, a born-again footballer. Hugh McGann. Chuella, 8 metres from the halfway line. Dean Lance took a long while to get off him. McGann with a switch of play out to Gilmeister. Sam Bacco runs into him and they both fly. The kick has been put in. Corkery's running back for it, feels it about 5 metres from his goal line. Dummies to Belcher. Gets out beyond the quarter. It's a good run. Very spectacular run. Belcher. Back to O'Sullivan now. Gilbert. Looking good there for a moment. Walters back inside to his brother. Gilbert. O'Sullivan drops it and the ball goes forward. Well, he had it locked beside his leg there for a moment, but he couldn't just get it pulled around. The scrum was 9-6, East way, penalties 5-all. Spooner. Paul. Worth. And the tackle on Davis is a good one from Jackson. Morris. Stands in a tackle. Hey, Melrose wasn't watching. The ball came to him and bounced in front of him. Took it on the bounce. Rampling. Running strongly. Truella. Up to the quarter line. Canberra on the tail end of a little bit of east pressure for the last 10 minutes. 21 minutes to go. Spina. Hall wrapped up straight away by Lance on the quarter line. Spina looking for a player. Yes, he's got it to Chalice, but Chalice has been ruled forward. Wayne Chalice there looking to score a try in his semi-final match as a replacement. There's Spina searching for the ball. The referee ruled it forward. Henjack. Belcher's dropped the ball. This will be a try to McGann. It is. There's a drop ball at the side of the scrum by Gary Belcher. He was unable to regather it. The ball was kicked through. McGann swooped on it, picked up the ball and dived over as easy as you please.
So Canberra well and truly back on their heels now. They've been saying to look tired in the last 5 minutes. A lot of drop ball. They just haven't been able to come back with that quick try to even those scores up. And Hugh McGann, who's had a busy game for Eastern Suburbs, has been leading the way with a great example. Just swoops on it there. I think the changes are certainly necessary in the Canberra side now. Their forwards are struggling somewhat. They need to get a couple of fresh runners out there to try and break this Eastern Suburbs lineup. There the ball goes free. Hughie McGann, plenty of pace for a back rower, just takes the tackle of Chris O'Sullivan and over he goes for Eastern Suburbs. So confidence now well and truly out the back door for Canberra. Belcher and Peter Jackson will be called upon for miracles now to try and get themselves totally involved to search for the 2 tries that the Raiders need.
Well, that was a great try, a quick thinking try, a try of quality to take the opportunity. Yes, we'll get news on that after this kick. David Smith, 3 from 3 at the moment. Impeccable performance. 15 metres out, about 20 metres to the right of the uprights. (22 points to 12). The game just about slipped away from Canberra. Seemed to kick the sand, but he's got the goal. So the score now is Canberra 24, Eastern Suburbs 24, Canberra 12. Now, David, you've got a couple of replacements in the Canberra side.
Yes, Chris Kenner and Ashley Gilbert have got off. The 2 replacements in number 14, Phil Carey, and number 16, Terry Regan. But with me on the touchline is the South Sydney captain, Mario Fennick. And it appears at this stage, Mario, it's the Canberra Raiders next weekend here at the Sydney Cricket Ground, a side that's beaten you in both premiership matches this year.
Well, mate, it looks like we'll be playing Canberra next week, and certainly the last time we played them was our last home game at Redfern, and we were very disappointing, so we'll be looking forward to rectify that next week.
Safely through after yesterday, but still a fair bit of work to be done by the Rabbitohs.
Yeah, we were a little bit disappointing in the first half. I felt that we pushed the pass and gave away too many silly penalties, and basically we put ourselves under pressure, so we're hoping to improve that during the week.
Mario, how difficult is it to fight it through from that bottom place in the top 5?
Well, we won yesterday, so that's a great confidence booster for us. We've been in a bit of a flat spot lately, so certainly it's going to pick us up a little bit. We'll take every game as it comes. Next Saturday's another day, and we're hoping that we can go one step further. All
the best next weekend.
Thanks very much, David.
Belcher away to Jackson. Jackson taking on the job of the forwards there. The Canberra players are just a little bit slow to regroup when they get into trouble. Belcher often found in the forwards, where he is at the moment. Walters onto Regan. Terry Regan, who was a pretty useful player, but a little bit of a fellow that does not know what is going to happen next. Good pass back at the inside of O'Sullivan, then to Henjack. It's a great pass and a good run from Henjack. Good backing up from Laurie Spina there to tackle him in that position. Jackson. O'Sullivan runs into problems. Jackson out to Terry Regan. Well, he's kicked ahead. Worth will pick this up. That was not called for at that stage. Laurie Spina was on the ground getting attention, but he's back right now. Chalice is taken out of it there by O'Sullivan. Huey McGann. He's still got up and he's come forward again. The indestructible, this bloke. Had a magnificent game for Eastern Suburbs. Has led the way in all departments. Gilmeister. Hall. Melrose cleverly dummying, stopping, and then kicking at leisure. And it's going to find the touch. Oh, yes, this Tony Melrose is having a game too. Let me tell you, everything he does turns to gold at the moment. Simpkins is off, and who's on?
Trevor Patterson in number 50, a reshuffle in the Eastern Suburbs pack. Patterson into the second row. Truella will move back up into the hooking role.
Okay. Henjack there, still in the halfback role for the Canberra side. Comes shooting out the back of the Canberra scrum. O'Sullivan's found a hole. He's got right through. He's hopped around one, got it to Jackson. Jackson out to Belcher. Belcher to Corkery. Corkery goes strongly. Tries to upend Morris. He's going to be shuffled over the sideline dead easy. There was tons of cover there. Absolutely miles of cover defence from Eastern Suburbs.
It was good play by Steve Morris in the first instant, who, knowing that he had plenty of pace there to round up Corkery, he showed him the sideline, let him get away from him on the outside with the help of the cover defence. Now the feed comes up for Eastern Suburbs, so plenty of thinking by Steve Morris.
Well, the referees have to penalise. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 Canberra players in the backs, all offside. This penalty will go to Eastern Suburbs, 10 yards their own side of halfway. David Smith to take it. Patterson comes straight ahead. Truella. McGann under a high tackle. Truella. Spina. Brendan Hall probing there. They're right on the quarter line. Gilmeister. It's a one-handed pass back into Shepherd. Runs into one of his own players. Onto Hall. Hall dummies, weaves. Last tackle. kick has been put in, the grubber kick to Belcher. Belcher manages to stay just in the field of play. Little Ivan Henjak comes away with a good scurry, but is picked up by the cover. The ball kicked through by Eastern Suburbs. 6 to go. Coyne has it. There's Terry Regan. Well, I met him in no uncertain terms. Sam Bacco. Got a pass into Todd. The pass was a good one, but Todd was wrapped up immediately. Wolvers. Pass away. I think it was touched by an East player. Yes, it was. 6 to go, says the referee. Lance. Bacco still trying to do what he was put on the field for, to make a bust. He's done that fairly usefully all day. Regan, back to Henjak. They work their way up to the halfway. Lance. Now the kicking game will have to come into operation after this next tackle. Jackson out to Corkery. Corkery goes well. Gets over the top of Spina. Got a flick pass back inside to Corkery, who's streaming on. Gets it away there to... Who's that player? It's number 6, O'Sullivan. And O'Sullivan backing up on the inside has scored a very, very good try. It came at a critical moment. There are 11 minutes left.
Good blindside play by Belcher. He committed the marker, Steve Morris, there to pick him up. Good play also by Corkery to pick up Chris O'Sullivan back up on the inside. The Raiders haven't given up. There's plenty of time left in this semi-final. And with the likes of Belcher and Jackson and Corkery still causing problems out wide, they're well and truly in this game. They've been probing all day the halves of O'Sullivan and Henjak, two of the best performers for the Raiders, and that's a great result for his performance this afternoon. O'Sullivan, clever thinking to keep that ball alive. They didn't exercise the option of kicking, and the ball going back inside here for O'Sullivan. And Eastern Suburbs with still a few worries about getting on into the major semi-final next Sunday.
Now he sprayed that out to the right, so the score remains 24 Eastern Suburbs, 16 Canberra. The change is made for Canberra.
Yes, Daly has come on. Now that means that Walters will go into lock forward to replace his captain, Dean Lance. And Daly will play in the centre. So Canberra also have another change in the Eastern Suburbs side. We have Paul Daines in jersey number 33 coming on to replace David Troy.
The kick for touch takes play into Canberra's half. Patterson gets beyond the Canberra defence through the first line. Daines at dummy half on a Salvatore. Upended. Daines again. Spina spins it back. Began a cut-out pass to Melrose. Gilmeister. Daines up to the quarter. Tony Rampling running with vigour. 15 metres out from the line. Daines, it's going to be a field goal attempt by Melrose. It's successful. That's good tactics, just tying it up, tying a knot, and double tying it. See Tony Melrose. Very calm, very casual, and very used to it from his rugby union days. The score 25 Eastern Suburbs, 16 Canberra. Sam Bacco goes for a run, loses the ball forward, picked up by Morris, given to Spina, out to Melrose, on to McGann, back on the inside, nicely there to Brendan Hall, then to Spina, Spina to McGann, McGann to Gilmeister, Gilmeister to Salvatore, Salvatore to Morris. It's been lost behind Morris, picked up by Henjak, and he's taken it 15 metres out.
Certainly deserved a try. Great play from Eastern Suburbs and great backing up. They kept this ball alive. This is the danger side for Manly because they've got pace and really can play open football. Great pass over the top here. Morris just couldn't handle it. Would have been a superb try.
Well, we're down to 24 seconds now to go. I'm almost sorry this game's ending. I've enjoyed watching it so much. And the penalty goes to Canberra. A quick tap is taken by Waters. And here's the countdown clock. O'Sullivan, last pass was forward. That was it. And there's the hooter. So at full time, it's been a scoreline of Eastern Suburbs 25, Canberra 16. The try scorers from Eastern Suburbs have been Hugh McGahn, Smith and Morris. Smith 4 goals, Melrose a field goal. Canberra 16 points, S. Walters, Bacco and O'Sullivan tries, Belcher 2 goals. A very, very fine game of rugby league, played in a marvellous spirit with tons of ball movement. 25 to 16 to Eastern Suburbs.
Well, a great start to the semi-final action in 1987 in that race, as I said before, for the elusive Winfield Cup. Let's take a look at all the action from next weekend now. Our commitments: South Sydney still in that sudden death involvement there. They just have to win to stay alive. And Sunday, as we turn our attentions to the major semi-final, I should say, Manly and coach Bob Fulton with their biggest test to date to see if they really can wrap up the Winfield Cup in 1987. Well, I trust you've enjoyed all the action that we've brought you from this first weekend of semi-finals. Until next week, I'm Graeme Hughes saying goodbye for now.